countries as members. In Africa, it is only South Africa that is an established member. We have Egypt coming up, Mauritius, and Morocco. Ghana Green Building Council was set up almost a year ago. We are following the roadmap to join the World Green Building Council and then to help drive this agenda. Okay. Coming to the second question, which is, what's it called? Buildings not designed properly for. The government have enacted the law talking about making buildings disabled friendly. Well, some of us years back were doing that, making sure we provide ramps to our buildings. And so with a caller who said there are buildings, maybe he's not using the right professionals to do the designs for them. But if you use the right professionals to do it, they will definitely make sure they provide access so that the buildings are disabled friendly.
He's not talking about, what he was talking about is that we've been, campaigning about proper, establishment or proper building of structures. But up to now, they laying it at the doorstep of the, architects, that we have government institutions, we have state institutions, we have, private and public institutions that are still not friendly to people with disabilities. So maybe...
Well, some of those buildings, all of our ministries, our major public and civic buildings, most of them were designed and constructed years ago, when green building and climate change was not that much of an issue. And neither was access, for the physically challenged. But one word which he used was to retrofit. That is doing Sankofa, going back, assessing your building in terms of its efficiency, energy-wise, water-wise, and so on, and taking the necessary measures to bring it up to that standard, which will include looking at ways that the physically challenged can access the building. And that is why we said government has to be a major player in this. In Ghana, I think within the West African sub-region, we are the first country to establish the Ghana Green Building Council. We've received a lot of support from South Africa, where they have them up and running. And it is possible for your building to be rated, the council or the system of rating tools, which look at how far you have complied with certain key principles of green building.
The second caller raised the issue of laudable idea. Most often we come on TV, talk about it, but it's often not implemented. How are you going to ensure that it's being implemented, or it will be, what you're advocating now will be implemented?
All right. Let me take myself as an example. I'm an architect. I have a private practice. And this is what I do. I take the initiative to my clients. For example, I'm rehabilitating a project for a client of mine. I'll mention it, Vodafone. Okay, I'm rehabilitating one of their projects. And we are using the green principles. Okay. We are going to use solar to augment the national grid. So what we are saying is, can we use 80% solar and then 20% national grid? At the end of the day, you've already paid for the solar. So with time, let's say 5-6 years, you'll finish paying. What it means is after 5-6 years, you'll be paying 20% of the electricity usage. So if the regulator increases electricity, you are not paying 100%, and that's where the savings is. We are going to recycle most of the walls that we demolish. The project is at Adenta. We are going to use borehole and not only leave the borehole there, but we are going to treat the water that comes out of the borehole so that it is potable for workers there to drink. Okay. So in our own small way, this is how we have started it. We are asking everybody, including the government especially, to come on board, give out pilot projects. William talked about rating system. the council, the key thing for the council to do is to build up what is called rating system, building rating system. And the rating system will look at sustainable site, how you plan your site. It will look at resource usage, that the raw materials. It will look at energy efficiency in the design. It will look at water conservation and efficiency in the design. It will look at indoor air quality. They are equipment that we use to measure the indoor air quality. The indoor air quality comes from the materials that are used, toxic materials that we don't know, like paint. Some of them have toxic things, we call them the green paints, or have low VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Okay. So it will measure all this. Above all, we'll look at innovation in design. So we have 6 key areas that the rating system, the tool is built. And it is a collaborative approach. It is an integrated project delivery approach where all stakeholders come together. Let's take a typical house or a typical project. You have the professionals, that the architect, the engineers, and whatever you come in. You have the building owner or the developer coming. You have the contractor, and then you have the financier. So all of you sit, and then the council come as a third party. All of you, right from the onset, the design stage, sit on one table, go through all the parameters that are needed to guide the design. And then, having gone through
listening to you, what is going through my mind is that, as maybe a prospective house owner or a house owner who wants my house to now be green, environment friendly, I'll come to you. You convince me that yes, I will save money, and then you do the rest, because there's too many things involved in there that I don't need to be involved. But
the important thing is that it's a beginning.
Yeah.
We cannot sit down unconcerned while the environment, goes through and the ozone layer is being depleted, and our carbon emission levels are growing.
Okay.
And they say one person can make a difference. It is important to create the awareness at all levels.
Okay.
Somebody suggested at one of our meetings that we should partner with government. We do a little show house, a small 2-3 bedroom, which is green, and open it up for people to come and see and look at
we like
the lifespan
to see before,
of that building.
Right.
You see, but if you are an individual, either a member of the government, you're in government, you run a private company, and so on, and you are convinced of the principles of green building, this is the time to get on board, so that a few years down the line, as we seek to implement the Agenda 21, you find that the concept of green building will play a very, very important role and determine whether or not we are successful.
As a former president of the Institute of Architects, who have on many occasions, tried to introduce new projects and all that, what are some of the challenges you anticipate in trying to push ahead this green agenda?
I think, we would just ask people to keep an open mind, right? The major challenge, as we have mentioned, is cost. Building is expensive, you see, and people tend to look at what is the bottom line. How much is a green building going to cost me as against a conventional building? Is it 20% more, 30% more? What can I afford to do within the limits of that? But no matter what your budget is, you can still incorporate some elements of sustainability in your building. Okay. And most architects you will find, in line with current trends in professional practice, will be advising their clients as to how they can make their buildings more efficient, especially in terms of energy, the way the tariffs are going up. If you can make a savings for your client, a building is not just a 5-year, a building is 30, 40 years, yes.
Right.
So it is in their interest, to partner with us to see how we can push this agenda forward.
All right, thank you very much. As you rightly said, this is just the beginning. The education is going to go on, sensitization, lobbying, and all that are going to go on, and I'm sure we'll get the opportunity to talk again.
I think we'll make you an honorary member of the council.
Okay, thank you very much. And I've been talking to Mr. Foster Osai O'Connor, who is an architect and founder, CEO, Ghana Green Building Council, and Mr. William Niteko Evans Amfom, who is the immediate past president, Ghana Institute of Architects, and he is green building friendly.
And he is a board member.
A board member as well. Okay. So this is the Breakfast Show. We take a short break. When we come back, Joyce will be talking to some people, but keep thinking green. Good morning to Unique Ladies Club.